right. Just ask you guys, let's see here. I think all right. So we haven't done one of these. I hesitated to call it an orientation because for some of you guys have been around for a little while and you kind of know what you know, but orientation is always that first move, and it's really not about that. It's about just refreshing, reminding yourself. Hello. Doing that. Hold on, let me see who's got that.
Leslie.
I think it's Leslie. I'm putting you on mute, Leslie. She's talking and now she's on mute. Sorry, Leslie, I put you on mute. All right, there you go. I got my thumbs up that I needed. Let me get this back out. All right. So at any rate, it's a great time to just spend a little bit of time during your day to understand all of the opportunities for you within our chamber. There's so many things and we keep adding new things too. So we're definitely not staying stagnant. We want to keep evolving the chamber as our members evolve, as we get new members, as we get more diverse members, and of course with the changing times. So just a little, some of you may belong to other chambers, so just a little insight there, that not all chambers are run the same. You probably have already seen that if you are involved in other chambers. Everything is a little bit different. You know, they're not out of a box, so they don't tell us, nobody dictates what we do as a chamber except for our governing board and you as members. If there's something that you're looking for and you don't see we do, you should always you know, give us a shout out and say, hey, how come we don't do this? And maybe there's a good reason for it, or maybe we say, hey, let's do it. But every chamber is unique and has, you know, a lot of valuable benefits, resources, and opportunities to help save money and market your products and services. So the goal, of course, is the same, and that's just to be an influential voice and power that stands for the well-being of our local business community. So we are made up of obviously business owners and entrepreneurs who promote the interests of their local business community. And, you know, hopefully we're helping by you joining, hopefully we're helping to boost your sales and just give you some visibility and credibility in the community that you're looking to target. So this chamber, LZACC, or Lake Zurich Area Chamber of Commerce, is quite old. It's been around for a long time. It's been very established. We've had some great leaders that preceded us in over the long several years that we've been in. We are a 501c6. It's considered a nonprofit organization, but we can act on behalf of members, which in this case is the business community, if there's an issue that arises. And we have a government affairs committee that does work to act on the members' behalf, if so, you know, necessary, and if voted on by the members at large. So we operate through the dues that you pay. It covers our operating expenses. We aren't out to be a cash cow, so we are out to just service our members and maintain a typical nonprofit, you know, status quo of operating expenses for, you know, the time that foreseeable future. But we also do fundraising for, you know, to cover additional costs and things, and you'll see some event fees and sponsorship fees and things like that. We are governed by a board of directors, which I'll show you in the next slide. But our areas, the reason why it's LZA, it's LZ area, and that's because we represent, from a municipality standpoint, Lake Zurich, Killdeer, Deer Park, Hawthorne Woods, and Long Grove. 75% of our members come from those areas, but there's still a 25% that come from surrounding areas. So maybe you're in Wakanda or Mundelein or Libertyville and you want to come down here, or maybe you're out in Chicago and you want to network and increase your sales territories out here in this area. And then we have just over 400 members, which has been a pretty solid number. It puts us to be a fairly, like a medium, small to medium sized chamber. Let me just let this person in, and then there's me. And so right now I'll tell you, we are shy on staff, meaning I have no staff. Amaya Arian was with the chamber and she did take a different job just last week. So be patient if you're trying to reach the office. and you can't quite get a hold of me, just zip me a text or an email, or just know that I'll get to you. So a little fun fact about a chamber is way back when, and long time ago, a chamber was used to certify a company who would ship overseas, ship their products overseas. And so we still have members in the industrial park that actually have us sign their certificates of origin so that they can ship their products out overseas. So kind of interesting. It existed back in, let's say New York had one of the first chambers, and they were in a port. So there was a lot of importing, exporting. If you see here, this is our board of directors. This is basically our governing body. You have your exec board, you have 8 different directors. Now, these people are all members, just like you, of the chamber. They've just kept investing in the chamber, and they've risen up into this leadership role. And so we're very thankful to have a nice, diverse group of members to help kind of push us through and see the way for the future. So one thing that you will notice is under the names of the individuals in white, these are various committees that we have. We have a women's leadership committee, ambassadors, job fair, government affairs, expo and golf, programs, taste of the towns, and a member experience. And I think there might be a couple more that have come up, but these are committees that you have the ability to sign up for and get involved with, so that you can just establish those closer relationships outside of the networking events. One of the biggest things that, let me see here, I have to drag this around. One of the biggest things, though, that we as a board want to strive to do, and we hope that you do as well, is always share why you should spend local, right? We always have a campaign running. With the holiday season coming up, we're going to be doing some shop local and some holiday lookbooks and things like that. And the reason is this, right? It's supporting the small businesses, but it's also keeping money in our community to be spent on things that might better our community, like our school district or our roads or things like that. So really important to always have that function within any chamber. Let's see here. Why am I not moving? There we go. And we do join hands with our community in many aspects. We do have an ongoing scholarship opportunities. That's something that you probably saw whether you were coming in as a new member or if you're getting a renewal for your membership dues. There's an optional scholarship donation of $25 on that line. Certainly you can flex that either way. You can spend less and give $10, or you can spend more and do something more. So, but that money gets put into a reserve account, and is then we awarded us, I believe it was seven individuals at the beginning of the year from last year's scholarship fund, and gave out over $4,000 in scholarships. So that's something that we want to do ongoing. And again, our scholarship program is a little different because it's not just high school graduates. So you'll see it's college graduates pursuing entrepreneurship, individuals seeking adult continuing education, or professionals seeking leadership training. And then there's other programs that we have, such as our Lake County Job Fair, which is coming up on September 29th. From 3 to 7, I think, at the Foglia YMCA. This is open to anyone. There's just a small degree of whether you're a member and you have a certain fee, or whether you're a non-member and there's a different fee for the non-members. So we really, since COVID hit, we've really tried to open up our member, non-member fees for as many, opportunities or events as we can, because we realize that we are representing a business community, although it is driven by you as a member in our membership dues. We also partake in high school mock interviews. So if you have not done this yet, it's really exciting. You can connect with me after that. There's 2 times that the high school does mock interviews, and you go in and you interview the students and, kind of give them a feel for what they're up for when they come to their real interviews. We've done a holiday giving tree. We've supported the firemen's chili cook-off. And then we have these other events listed here that the Business Leadership Forum is coming up, and so is the Business Boot Camp. So you haven't, I'm sorry, the Women's Leadership. So you haven't seen those two yet, but you will be seeing more on those soon. And then we have some other events that are kind of our stay events, Taste of the Towns Expo. We have our annual golf event and such. The member benefits from a really big macro level. Here. The member benefits from a macro level. I would say the most, the meatiest ones, right? The things that really, I think, get me excited about seeing members work together is, just all the networking. We have over 50 events a year that you can network at, but there's also this collaboration that's going on behind the scenes, right? So we've seen, I kind of always pick on these guys. It was really cool. We've seen people like Mr. Tux and the Gents Place and Copper Fiddle do like a men's package all together for the holidays. That's great collaboration, right? Because you're working with people business owners that you may not have ever met had you not come to the chamber and taken an investment in the community. Lots of partnerships as well. We have an ambassadors group. So if you're relatively new, or maybe you remember when you did join, you were assigned an ambassador who kind of partnered with you for the first 6 months of the membership if you wanted it. Sometimes people aren't interested in that benefit, but we do make those partnerships available so that you can kind of get ingrained in who you want to meet, what you want to achieve with your membership, just making the best of it. So, and then of course the membership perks as we go through and talk about it. One of the big ones is especially for new businesses, is our ribbon cutting. So you'll see a couple of photos down here. We go out and we actually have one tomorrow at Aligned Modern Health in Killdeer. So if anyone wants to jump out for that, stopping by, even if it's for 10 minutes, means the world to this business owner who's opening their doors for the first time, or has got maybe an expansion. We've done a couple ribbon cuttings this year that were meant to be happening last year, but COVID hit and it kept them from having those. So we're still, we want to still celebrate, the first year of craziness for them as a business owner. So let's see. We also have some networking groups. There's Elzang, which meets, now these dates might be a little bit, I think the first one, I'm not sure about every Wednesday anymore for this group. I don't know if anyone on the call is in Elzang, but they are meeting at least a couple Wednesdays a month. And what's nice about this networking group and the new networkers is, those are category exclusive. So if you're a financial planner, you'll be the only financial planner in that group. So it helps you to, again, kind of build those relationships and that trust, and therefore then collaborate with those other members. I know new networkers meets the second and fourth Wednesdays at lunch. And then we have our young professionals. They usually meet, their schedule is a little bit wonky right now, but we're trying to get them back into the swing of things now that we're doing a lot of in-person. But they were alternating between like a lunchtime and then a cocktail hour. So maybe 1 month a lunch, 1 month a cocktail hour, and then alternating that way. So if you're interested in any of these groups, again, anything you see in this presentation that you want to have more information about, just zip me an email after, and I'll be happy to give you some more detailed information. Other member benefits look like the business before hours, the business after hours, which I think most of you, I'm not looking at all of you right now, but I think most of you have attended and have taken advantage of. And that typically, sometimes people ask, well, how do you get to host one of those? So come November, we will be sending out an email to all members to ask for anyone who's interested in hosting. And there are hosting requirements that go with this. And so we do our best to try and fulfill those as they come in. Last year was kind of different, and this year was kind of different because nobody wanted to book last year for this year. And so it's been a couple odd years, as you can imagine. There's a lot of online opportunities. We have the monthly member spotlight. We have, which goes out via email, social, and on the web. We have our e-blasts, which you can have as dedicated emails or shared emails with other members that go to our membership list, our prospective member list, and we have a community list. So if it's something business to business, we wouldn't send to that list. But if it's something that you want to reach the community with, we've built those lists for that opportunity. Programming, I know Michael Iser's on the call. He runs programming, and that committee works on pertinent events and educational events on a fairly regular basis. We don't want to have events just to have them because we have plenty of them, but these are of an educational component. And along those lines is the solopreneurs. Now, the solopreneur was actually coined by our Vice President, Kent Smith. And he wanted to get, because he works on his own as an IT professional, he wanted to get like-minded individuals, meaning not other IT professionals, but those who work individually alone and don't rely on maybe a budget from a corporation that you work under or whatnot, because that set of conversations looks different. You know, how do I get out? How do I stay out in the market? How do I stay, connected with resources that I need for my business, be it accounting, legal, marketing, etc. So you'll see those come up on the calendar. You're always welcome to try it out. If you don't know if you're a solopreneur or not, you can just show up and talk to the group. And if the conversations are relevant, you're a solopreneur. I mentioned the rest of these here, but young professionals meetings, our women's leadership initiative, which is kicking off in November, and our business boot camp, which is kicking off next April. Additionally, gosh, there's so much. So I hate to spend an hour rambling like this, but there's so much to detail that it's worth it, right? But you have a company listing and profile on our website, and we're going to tackle into how you can go in and update and navigate behind that scene. But it's definitely something to keep updated. And I say that mainly because there is so much traction on the website based on the size of the organization, the amount of members that we have on there. We have great search engine optimization, which means that your listing on there might pop before even your own website. So it can be a very valuable tool when someone's looking for a service or product and your listing pops up. You want to be able to let them see who you are and what you're doing in that one page. So we'll talk about that in a little while. But we also have the Experience magazine, the Experience Guide magazine, that's annual. Some of you have already advertised in it. It is a paid advertising opportunity. So it probably shouldn't be on this no cost list. But the aspect of it that is no cost is that your company is listed in the directory in the back at no cost. So we feature the entire chamber member directory in the back of that magazine, and it does go to over 17,000 addresses. Complimentary use of our space. If you need to set up a meeting or you don't want to meet at Starbucks, you want to have it a little bit more quiet or private, you have our space. And then the opportunity to post on our website, which again, we'll go over in a little while. Let's see here. So you can kind of look through the rest of this. I can send this out to this presentation out to you as well, so you have it as a tool to remember. There's also a book online that we'll peek at, which includes all this as well. Something that you may not have known about, or you may wonder about if you've seen it, is every year we have awards. Typically, they are new business of the year, entrepreneur of the year, young professional of the year, and so on, volunteer of the year. So that will be coming out soon in October, probably, because we do you're welcome to submit or nominate yourself, and don't think that it's silly, because it's okay. You know your story best. Or you can say, hey, would you consider nominating me to someone else? Who nominates whom is completely private. So it bears no relevance to, or is not, it's not seen. So I encourage you to think about, when those award categories come out, put your name in there, because it's great exposure. We go out and do public voting for the nominees in each category, and the public is the one that determines the winner. So it's a fun fourth quarter activity. And then all of the nominees and the winner are announced at our January event. A couple things. Now, this doesn't apply to every member, but we do have a digital gift card that's powered by MasterCard. So it's basically, if you are, I see Mary on my screen. Mary, this would be good. You're probably not going to be on it, because no one's going to buy you a gift card to buy a house, but or Leah, maybe you're not going to, no one's going to, give you money to invest in your 401k or what have you, but it's a good gift to give. The people who are in it could be perfect people for it, would be like our restaurants or our retail, or things that have a, a nominal, if you will, dollar amount, that make great gifts. So, you go on here and there's a form on the site, and we're going to tour that real quick, but when we get to the website, but it's free. And the people who buy the cards and give them to others, the recipient will then see every month what's left on your cash or your gift card, where you can shop. And it's just a free promotion for our members. So social media, if you're not linked up to, I can only see a portion of my screen here. If you're not linked up to either Facebook, whatever your favorite social platform is, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, we are on all 4 of them. You have the ability to post to our pages, or to Facebook in particular, right? So you can write a post. It is open. Excuse me. And where it will go is kind of in the viewers post. So you might not see it in our mainstream, but there is a section called visitors post. This may have changed a little bit since I created this slide, but it still goes out into the feed of the people who follow this page. So it's kind of a little tidbit freebie to jump on there if you have something important coming up, to go ahead and make a post. Oftentimes, if you tag us in one of the platforms, if you tag us, we'll be indicated that, hey, they tagged us, they want us to share it, so we'll try and share it. But you want to be mindful that it's not, a lot of sales and promotions, because we will stop sharing at some point, depending on what material you're trying to deliver out. We also have a private Facebook group for members only. So you're going to want to search up, whoops. Uh-oh. You're going to want to search up LZA CC members only group. This is a great place for you to post whatever it is that you're, if you have an article or a blog post you've written, if you have a question about who to use for accounting, or who to use for a plumber, whatever the case might be. It's a private group, so I encourage collaboration on this group. And again, if it gets out of hand, we obviously monitor it, but for the most part, it's just been a great sharing platform. So lots of talking makes scratchy throat. All right, texting. Oh my gosh, I'm hoping for all the support in the world on this. We only have about 180 some individuals, and I don't know who they are because it only shows their number, but there is a texting platform if you should choose to want to receive information from us. So you're going to send, and I'm actually hoping everyone on the phone right now could do this. If we take like a minute, it would be awesome to see everyone sign up. But you're going to text the words. First of all, you're going to text the number 313131. And then in the message, you're going to text just shop local. And once you hit send, you should immediately or within a few seconds you're now added to the chamber texting account. We haven't used this a lot, but I will tell you, and maybe you see this in your own businesses, that, you know, we do email, we do social posts, and people are like, what? I didn't know that was happening, or what? Yeah, I didn't see that. So we are trying to expand into the mobile world for getting some of the, not a lot, but some of the bigger things across that will reach people on their cell phone in a more relevant way. All right, I'll check after to see who signed up. Maybe we'll do a raffle or something. All right. So moving on to some advertising opportunities. Again, these are paid. Again, these are in this planning guide that you can see online. But one thing to note here is that now there are 2 books. One is an 8.5 by 11 typical magazine size. The other is a smaller, let's see, maybe it's 5.5 by 8.5, smaller guide. The magazine goes to over, I think that number's old now, 17,000 residents where we mailed this year, and is annual. The Welcome Home Guide gets sent monthly to all new residents in our surrounding areas that we represent, which I indicated earlier. In either case, the big magazine lists all of our members at no cost, and the smaller members, the smaller Welcome Home Guide has some things like, has some smaller listings, some more individual categorical listings that are in there, and that content is organized by our chamber office. So we're always looking for great stories, interesting ideas, and we do not do it as a pay by play or pay to play. We like to keep our content really specific and interesting to community members. And then we have obviously our event sponsorships, our, things that I already kind of went through on here. The holiday lookbook is coming up. We started this last year. It was very successful. Basically, it was a electronic book that we pushed out to the community at large, and it helped to promote whatever you were doing for the holiday season, right? So there's no restriction on who can be in it, as long as you submit what we are asking for. And that, again, there's a lot of stuff coming out in October. So that, again, will be coming out for a sign up in October so that we can publish it and promote it in November and December. Any questions so far on kind of what I've covered, or maybe insights? No? Okay. It's a lot of information, so it's kind of one of those boring, where you have to sit and listen the whole time. But
So the golf outing's October 4th, you said here?
yes, Alfred. Yeah, it was moved. We got rained out in June, so it's moved to October 4th. And all the same, if you were already signed up, if you are already a sponsor, everything moves over to this date. And we do have some golfing spots still available, and also some volunteer spots.
I'm gonna win it.
Who said that?
Wes.
Wes. What'd you say, Wes?
No, I'm coming to win it.
Oh, you're coming. All right, good job. Yeah, and our job fair comes up first, September 29th. So we have I think we have just over 20 employers who are there. This list is not exclusive on this flyer, but we have just over 20. So if I could ask you guys to do something, this event is only successful if we get job recipients or job seekers coming in. So I could set up I could get as many of you to sign up and have a booth there as possible. If I don't have candidates coming through the door, doesn't make it successful. Our first one that we did was in 2019, and it was successful. It was our first one out of the gate. We never know how many are going to come in, but we had some great visibility over the social media waves and elsewhere. And we couldn't do one last year, so this is our second annual. So please share that on social. It's on our Facebook page, or it's on most of our platforms. If you could find our posts on that and share it out, that'd be wonderful for everyone involved. All right, keep wanting to do the down arrow and it's making me click. Our expo. Yes, I put on this flyer. Yes, this is our normal spring expo. We actually couldn't have it in March, so we tried to do it in July, and then we had to cancel in July. So now we're trying to do it again in October. It's a great community event. So if you're looking to reach outside of the membership into the community, this is perfect. We have exhibiting space, we have sponsorships, and again, some volunteer spots. So check that out. There's quite a bit of detail on the calendar for this. And then when I talked about the awards, the place where we hand these out is at our member appreciation. It's called Winning Hands. It's kind of a Monte Carlo game night theme. Super fun. We did it once already, and again 2019, and people liked it so much, and that we're bringing it back. So all right, so we're gonna head over. That should be me on the bike, right? We're gonna head over to our website and show you just a couple of things here. Let me get my where's my website? There it is. All right. So I move my bars around here. So you'll see usually the main top 3 things coming up is on our slider. Right below it is always our monthly member spotlight. I kind of detailed that. If you click on that, it shows you who is being spotlighted this month. And it kind of clicks out to their website. So we have a few different members who are promoting this month. And then each of them gets a call out on social media, and that list goes to our community lists as well. The BAYA MasterCard, the digital MasterCard is right here. So if you are interested in that, you can sign up under merchant program details. People seem to overlook these 3-4 boxes right here. Quick access into our website. So when you look for a community event, wow, there's going to be a lot of stuff on here, but little pointer, if it's in all caps, it's ours. It's the chamber's. If it's in low caps, it's a member who's posted their event on our calendar. And yes, you can post an event on our calendar at any time you'd like. There's no fee for that. And then we include it in our weekly email that typically comes out with a section on member events. And we'll show you how to do that in a moment. There's also obviously the member directory. And this is where you can search. All of you can be searched here. Let's see, if I type in Baird, we have Mary who's on the call, and Baird Warner Lang Zurich who's on the call. And you can go down and see all of your information here. So, oh my goodness, we need to update Ryan's photo. He's more handsome even with age, right? But anyway, we'll show you how to do that too in a minute, that behind the scenes. So under the community tab, you'll find that experience guide and that welcome home guide. So you can flip through those pages and kind of check out what the magazine is about. I encourage you to especially check out the content. If you have content ideas, send them my way. The scholarship program, and again, some repeats. The members tab is super critical for you guys. Because it's just, again, some of them are duplicative links like the upcoming events. We're just trying to make sure that people can find those no matter what. The member spotlight marketing is here. this 2021 planning guide. Now, I wouldn't encourage you to you can look at it generally, but it's a little bit outdated since we've moved some events, but B, the 2022 guide is coming out here in the next month or so as well, which will showcase everything that we have planned for the year 2022. So that is where you can go through and just flip through. You can full screen it and flip through to see, get an idea of maybe what you'd want to do for next year. But again, we have some new things coming out, actually three or four new initiatives coming out next year. Also under the members tabs are some expert interview series. I know Leslie's on our call. She helped us with some ones in the very beginning when we first started this, but there's a lot of regarding HR topics. But for the benefits that, I'm sorry, for the events that we record, you can go back and watch them here. So there we are, Leslie. In our expert interview series, that was our kickoff. So again, keep that in mind. If there's something that you would like to lead or something that you'd like to speak on, again, let us know so we can take it to our programs committee for further review. And then there are, if you go down to member login training tutorials, there are some training tutorials on when we log in to update our information. And so that's probably the highlight. We're going to spin over to the member login section. So when you click in the right corner, you'll be able to use your username and password. If you don't remember those, you can walk through those steps. If you're struggling, you can always email us and we'll reset it for you. I have logged into what is ours that's outdated because we don't really use it for anything. So I'm noticing that I have to get in and update my own profile. But for purposes of you guys logging in and seeing what looks like this, we can show a little bit of navigation around mostly, like your company info. We want to make sure that is all accurate, and it's deep, right? It's this initial page, but then when you opened organizational information, you can see employees website, the categories. Now, we have for just $50 a year, you can get an enhanced listing, and that pops open your logos, your photos, your videos, and a lot more interactive information that you can use to fill out your directory. So you may or may not see that, or when you get to that section, it may say, please call the office if you'd like to, utilize that, that tab or whatever. But the importance is this, as you click around, you start navigating deeper and deeper. So if you ever are lost, you just kind of click back to the home. And back at that home is the savings page, which is a community page. So if you want to reach the community that is signed up to receive this, that's that spot. Member to member deals would go out to just members. So especially if you're, like a business to business offer or deal, or if you want to offer a special incentive for members versus the community at large, you can post it here. If you have a press release, something new that's happening that you've issued, you can post it here. And going into these is pretty simple. You're going to see anything that's happening or any press releases, or this will be the same for any of these, but anything that's kind of out there and made public for the moment, because you can time everything. So here you're simply adding a news release, adding a deal, adding a job opening, adding, a savings, and you're kind of just following along with this form. But you can see that there's a release date, there's a start date and an end date. So you can control when your deal, starts and ends, or even the press release. I mean, usually you don't need to turn off a press release, but you might pick a month or 2 months, depending on what it's about. You pick the category, you pick a logo, you choose who to link that to, and then it will show up on our main website that the average visitor would not need to be logged in to see this information. Same for job postings, right? It's the same thing. You might see the jobs out there that are posted right now, but you're gonna add the job posting. You're gonna give it a title, and walk through again, just the form. And once you hit, submit for approval, it comes to our office, we get notified, and then we approve it. Or if it needs to, if we just kind of review it for spelling errors or things like that, at least you have a second pair of eyes on it. Another cool thing here that if you want to use this as a consumer, if you will. So let's say you're looking for someone to, you need a new sign for your business or something. You can put out a proposal to those people in our chamber. And there should be here and then you can select the category to whom it's to. So I think there's well, anyway, you can see, maybe you're looking for a dentist, maybe you're looking for a caterer, a chiropractor. So you can actually, as a consumer yourself, whether you're consuming from a personal standpoint or from your business standpoint, you can push this out so that you don't have to try and reach, or figure out who sells signs or who does financial planning. You can push this out and it goes to all of them at once, and then you can sit back and gauge who's going to respond to me quickest, and who's going to give me that customer service. So that is another feature that you can use behind the scenes here. Some of these other features, we've tried to use the resources tab to put information. We have not been diligent keeping it up to speed, but there are some, one of the most diligent individuals who's on our call today, Leslie, we have updated a lot of the employment law documents that she's given us. And Leslie, we may have to look at that again to see if those are still up to date. They probably have some additions to them. And then of course you can go into your member visibility and check out, hey, who's clicked on my page, who's seen me in search, and things like that. I don't know how my numbers look here, because usually people don't search for the chamber when they're on the website, but your numbers should be interesting to you because you probably have never seen this aspect. So you might want to check that out. And if you're not getting many hits, maybe you want to enhance that listing to add a logo, to add some videos, and or to just update that general content to get people to click through. So with that, I'm going to ask if there are any questions, or if anyone wants me to go over anything in more detail. Can't see everyone at once here. Everyone's on mute so far. Okay, how about something new that someone learned today? Oh my gosh, I didn't teach anyone anything today?
I didn't know you had all these features on your website, so I'm glad you went over that. And that was really impressive. So since I'm with Comcast, the marketing person is like our contact. So I guess, how do I figure out who's, I don't think we're accessing Chamber Master, so I'm just trying to figure out, how do I figure out who on my company's in Chamber Master?
Yeah, so when you click on the company tab, you can go down to employees. And under there, you can see the reps that you have listed and whether they're active or not, and their information on them.
Okay, so I don't have to be have a password to get into Chamber Master to see that?
Yeah, you do need a password to get into this part of it, but you should have that.
I just want to know who it's. I mean, I saw the two reps that were on the member website, but I don't know if those guys know Chamber Master.
Okay, so I can send you an invitation at the end for you to set up your own username and password.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It'll be you'll get an email that looks just like a not personalized email. It's just a welcome to the chamber, blah blah blah,
Perfect. Yeah, I want to be able, because I don't think Comcast is doing enough posting or activity in Chamber Master on your website, and
Right.
I'm kind of the guy to do that, so I'll do it.
Okay. And when you're under the individual as yourself, like I picked on employees and I picked myself, you can go into the groups or interests and sign up for different committees. If you're interested in doing it that way, and that will automatically put you in the group. So you start receiving that information as committee meetings and things like that come up. You can put your photo in there. You can, add your personal social networks if you want. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of depth to this login access. And then on the profile itself, it'll tell you what's complete and what isn't. So if something's not complete, it might be in red. Or if something is not quite complete, it might be in yellow. So.
Okay. And how would somebody like myself use the Chamber Connect?
You mean logging in or having been logged in?
Like doing the messages to people, and like, would that be beneficial or would that not?
Yeah, I mean, you have there's the directory in here, and it does. Let me see here. It does allow you to select someone and to send them an email. Like it's kind of like the InMail, right? Like LinkedIn, it doesn't show you their email, but it does allow you to email someone through there. That way, if you come to me and you say, hey, can I have all the emails of our chamber members? The answer is no.
Right.
Because we don't want to give everyone's email, but you certainly can connect to the ones that you want to specifically.
Okay.
And, I wouldn't invest a huge amount of time. I would have something
Scripted.
Initial that says, hey, I want to make sure you're getting this. I want to set up an appointment or, whatever.
Okay, cool.
And obviously the best is just to give them contact them, or maybe message them on Facebook if you like their page, something like that is another way to kind of reach. But yeah, this is an example, I just randomly pulled on Sandra here, but this is an example of having that extended enhanced package for the $50 a year. It gives you the opportunity to post your events on there, or your links to all her things that you want to link to, her photos, any reviews, the map about us, things like that. So yeah. All right.